Go hard or go home. We've reported on Elon Musk issuing a very stern ultimatum to employees to adopt a hardcore work ethic or leave, prompting an exodus. Within the first few days of his takeover, Musk also laying off dozens of top executives, even slashed nearly half of the company's workforce. Let's bring in Robert Patillo, a civil and human rights attorney. Is it Patillo or Patillo?
Patillo.
Patillo. Okay, good. I had it right the first time. And human rights attorney to discuss the legal ramifications of Musk's actions. Elon Musk asked employees to either sign this pledge to be extremely hardcore, sign up for long, intense hours, or just leave the company with 3 months of severance pay. So is signing a pledge like this within Musk and Twitter's rights?
It is, oddly enough, and I think as long as the pledge does not violate labor laws, if they're not violating any state and local laws in those municipalities, this is similar to what we see in many corporate takeovers. They don't word it such as this. They do not normally put an ultimatum where there's a click yes or click no button. However, anybody who's been part of a company that had either new management or new ownership, they normally understand that there will be rounds of layoffs that take place. One of the issues may be that Musk did not elaborate on what he means by hardcore. He does not state what terms and conditions of employment will be facilitated by the new policy of Twitter 2.0. I think that may constitute legal issues going down the line, depending on how that works. However, there's nothing legally wrong with telling employees they have to agree to the new culture or take the severance package and leave the company.
Hundreds of employees resigned when offered this ultimatum. So some, this could be a mess. Others, it could be a way to ensure loyalty for Musk. But essentially, by turning the company private, is that why Musk has a lot of different privileges than other corporations would have?
Absolutely. Normal corporations have to respond to their shareholders if it's a publicly traded corporations. They have a board that has input on decisions, and the board can indeed force ownership or management to resign. We see this often take place when stock prices plunge and the CEO has to resign. However, when you take a company private, if Elon Musk wanted to take Twitter and just say it's going to be nothing but cat videos that I like from now on, that is a personal prerogative because it's a personally held and privately owned company. His only responsibility is to the people who loaned him money in order to buy the corporation. Other than that, there's very little recourse that individuals can do. And for people who are public users who dislike the new direction of Twitter, you have the option of using literally any other social media website. I think this came into light when conservatives were complaining about big tech, and you saw the creation of things like Parler and Getter and Clubhouse and Truth Social to avoid using the websites what they found were restrictive of their right to spread any of their issues on social media. That's what, if individuals have issues with Elon's new direction of the company, they can do the exact same thing. And if the marketplace deems his new changes to be acceptable, the marketplace will reward the company. If the marketplace deems them to be unacceptable, you'll see it closing down shortly.
I do want to ask one quick question, even though I know we're out of time. In federal law, California law, employees must provide 60 days notice before mass layoffs. Would that not apply to a private company?
It would apply, and that's why the issue is whether or not it violates any state and local jurisdictions and laws that apply in those local areas. Of course, the Human Resources Department will make sure they comport with such, and they'll be worked out that way. Twitter being a global company will have to deal with these things in local areas across the world.
All right, Robert Patillo, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.